no time to waste, no time to waste, no time to waste, no. There's no time to waste, no time to waste, no time to waste, so you better do the damn thing right. You only got one life. You better do the damn thing right.
Welcome back to the ShoeBenderPod Podcast, guys. I'm so glad to have you guys back. Damn. Yo, before we get anything started on this one, because I'm going to get my feelings a little bit. If I could get you guys to like, comment, subscribe to the page, that'd be totally awesome. Greatly always appreciated, regardless if you don't. Just trying to get in this algorithm, trying to get, into more phones, more PS5s, whatever it is for people to show, to get out there, honestly. Like I said, I want to make this an APV community where people just come in, have a good time in the comments. There ain't no bad vibes, ain't no negative energies, just all positive. Because anybody, we could all have our opinion, we could all say our opinions in a positive way. It don't always have to be in a Richard way, you know what I'm saying? But with that being said, we'll jump right into it. Like I said, this is another podcast that's going to be heavily influenced by the playoffs again. It's going to keep on being like this. Just going to keep on giving heads up every time because that's mainly what we're going to be talking about. So the first game that we had yesterday was the LA Lakers and the Grizzlies, man. And this game, this is the part where I was saying I was kind of going to get my feelings because it's really, really irritating when you have AD on your squad. He's an NBA 75 player. People are already calling him a Hall of Fame player, but yet you're getting outplayed by a role player. Like, Tillman's usually like a bench guy on any other team, and this guy outplayed you. Not to take no shot at Tillman, because he's, like I said, he's a professional too. Everybody's a professional, man. When you in these big leagues, NFL, NBA, Premier League, stuff like that, like you ain't playing against no scrubs, dude. There ain't no scrubs either. These are the elite of the elite around the world. And so you don't ever want to discredit what Tillman did. But it's like, yo, AD, there's no way in hell someone in your position should be outplaying you. Straight up. Like, there's just no way. The way I see it, I mean, it also was a horrible game plan by Darvin Ham coming in. Like, in the first game, we were switching everything on defense, literally switching everything. And in this game, it's like we were already respecting them, like, right off the bat, making jumpers, and everybody was just double teaming everybody. It's like, why are we going in the game with a game plan like that? That's a horrible game plan. We obviously seen what happened because a lot of those points that the Grizzlies got were in the paint, the place that we should have dominated them at, because they don't have their backup centers. They only have Jaren Jackson and Tillman. That's it. And they don't have Clark or Adams. Like, we should have dominated this team in the paint, and it went the other way. They dominated us in the paint. How the hell does that happen? It was also just a horrible game anyways too, because we couldn't make anything. Literally, you look at Reeves and Russell, they both had horrible game shooting. Horrible, just horrible. AD was missing everything. LeBron was probably the only light. Rui keeps on showing that he could keep on scoring. So that's always a plus. But we definitely made the Grizzlies look a lot better than what they are. Even though they won hella games without Ja. If you honestly really think about it, you don't want to say they look better with Ja, but they look really good without Ja. Their chemistry wise, they didn't miss a beat. They obviously, I mean, they almost ran us off the court. I mean, we kept coming back. We kept cutting into the lead, but we just couldn't take the game over. Every time that we could have cut into the lead and took the game over, we just kept bricking after brick or turnover after turnover. They were outboarding us. Like, they came out with the energy that we should have came out with to go back to LA 2-0. And that didn't happen. Now it's 1-1. Still got the Lakers winning this series. I mean, don't get me wrong. And especially after you got Dylan Brooks, literally poking the bear. Literally saying, like, I don't give a shit. I'll poke the bear. LeBron's old. He was, he's past his Miami and Cleveland days. Bro, when are these guys going to learn? When are you guys going to learn? Like, literally, when are you guys going to learn to not talk shit to LeBron? Like, literally, when are you guys going to learn? Doc Rivers has said it multiple times, bro. Leave this guy alone. It never ends well when you motivate LeBron. It really doesn't. Lance Stevenson kicked out. I'm not kicked out. Literally never won a ring because of LeBron. Joakim Noah never won a ring because of LeBron. Um, I wouldn't want, you don't want to throw Klay Thompson there because he obviously won, but you obviously bring up that time when he said LeBron's feelings got hurt, and all of a sudden LeBron turned it up those next 3 games, and they ended up closing out the Warriors in 2016. Um, it's just guys like that. It's like, it just never ends well, man. It never ends well. This guy obviously has been a lot more vocal towards LeBron though. Like those guys that I named off, they weren't really too vocal about LeBron off the court or on the court. Um, I mean, they were more saying shit that was, it was just, like it was just more court based. And I know that this is more court based with him saying, he's not, but it's just I can't explain it, man. I'm finding the real hard way of explaining this. But in general, like those guys, they weren't doing or saying what Dylan Brooks is saying. Stevenson, obviously, he didn't really even talk shit. Joakim Noah talked shit, but after he talked shit, it was more quiet. Dylan Brooks is like the whole game. He's over here staring LeBron down, talking shit. Like Joakim or Lance never did that. It was more mental. It wasn't more like all up in your face type thing. But like I said, that it never ends well. It never ends well. I don't get it why people still do it. I literally would not be surprised if LeBron just goes off in this game, like in the next game, like everybody's expecting him to. But then again, I don't think it's just LeBron. I feel like his team's also gonna be like, nah, like you're gonna have to see us too, not just LBJ, because Anthony Davis really has. I feel like he needs to have a better game than LeBron does next game. LeBron could obviously prove it the next game after that, but AD's the one that needs to prove himself this next game because you had a horrible game and you got outplayed by a guy you shouldn't have got outplayed by. But now the series is tied. It is a series now because the road team won and now it's 1-1. So it could be anybody's game. Injuries happen as we've seen with Ja, but I just still don't see the Grizzlies coming out on top on this one. I really don't. I just feel the Lakers really had a really bad off night, especially shooting wise, and also it was a horrible game plan that you came in with. And I feel like all that will get adjusted, all that will get fixed, and we'll get right back on track and win game 3 in LA. We also had the Bucks and the Heat going at it, and as I said, the Bucks came out and just straight dominated the Heat, showed why they're the number 1 seed. It did help that they set like the all-time, not the all-time, that they tied the all-time scoring record for threes made in the playoffs, in the playoff game with 29. I mean, that's just wild. They obviously were on fire from 3. I didn't get to watch that game because it was going on the same time as the Lakers game was going on. But, what's cool about it is that they show the score like at the very corner of the screen. So I was sitting there watching that. And, I mean, not at one point did it look like the Heat were going to come back. They did make, a run, obviously. Everybody goes on a run in basketball. It's always a back and forth on who goes on their run. And you just got to hope that your run is at the end of the game so that we can close the game. But, just dominated from 3-point range. So, obviously, when you're going to make 29 threes, it's pretty rare, really rare that you lose the game. And also, they did this without Giannis. So, I mean, that also boosts their confidence up just like it did with the Grizzlies, not being with their best player. Obviously, you don't want to put Giannis and Ja in the same breath because it's Giannis. He's actually a champion, finals MVP. He's proven that he could do it already. But, obviously a huge confidence booster for the Bucks. But now the series go back to Miami, which we all know. Yeah, it's very hard to beat the Heat at home. I know the crowd shows up super late, but when they get there, once they start a little sippy, a little bathroom visits, they get a little turned up, But that's Miami, and so now this is a series because you got the road team that won, and now the home team that won. So here we go. It's anybody's series, but I really don't see the Heat winning this one still. And I got the Bucks winning in game 3, but I could see the series being tied, going back to Milwaukee. So yeah, that's what happened in the Bucks and the Heat's game, and then to end the last night's games, you had the Nuggets and the Timberwolves going at it, which you had two great masterclass showmen from Anthony Edwards and who was Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray is one of the guys I was telling you guys about, man. Jamal Murray is a problem when he's healthy on the Nuggets. He really is. He's literally the difference maker from being a first round or second round outage, getting out, or going to the Western Conference Finals, maybe going into the finals. He was hurt last year, and we obviously seen why they got bounced out. The year that he wasn't hurt, they went to the conference finals. Jamal Murray is really good. I've always liked Jamal Murray. I've been saying, I said on my last podcast, this guy's really good. He's a baller, man. He really is super highly competitive. He really gets after it. And, obviously he dropped a 40 piece last night, but so did Anthony Edwards, man. Anthony Edwards is the only reason, I sure want to say the only reason, but he was the main reason why the Timberwolves actually took the lead in the fourth quarter, because the whole game, besides probably like 9 minutes into the game, no, not 9 minutes into the game, a couple minutes into the game, they were up, and after that they didn't have no lead. It looked like the Nuggets were going to blow them out again, and then they caught fire in the third quarter. They were making defensive stops. Rudy Gobert looked good. He even had Kyle Anderson, who the guy who he punched, it was more of a shove, literally consoling him, telling him to chill out, calm down, because he got a technical as they were going on that run. And in basketball, man, anything could flip momentum quick. Like super quick. And they were on a roll, but fourth quarter comes around, and the Nuggets show why they're the number one seed, and they were able to close this game out. It does suck though, because like I said, Anthony Edwards had such a great game. At halftime, Karl-Anthony Towns had 0 points. You can't have that being a 7-footer, bro. You really can't. You're a 7-footer. You only have to worry about Jokic. You got Rudy Gobert next to you. Like, there's no way in heck you should have 0 points at halftime. But that's what it came down to for Anthony Davis. I know they're both Wildcats, my bad. But Cat, I'm just gonna say Cat because that's easier. You can't have that, man. You can't have that. Obviously, he caught some fire later on in the game. He started making some points, but it was too late, man. You already had one of your players go for 40, and all he needed to do was to make a couple more baskets, and you didn't do that. Guess who did though? The other team. You had Jamal, who dropped 40, and then you had Jokic, who almost dropped 30 and a triple dub. He had 9 assists and 9 rebounds. This Denver team's really good. I really said I truly believe, but I also did say that this would be a sweep, and it's honestly going that way. Obviously, the Timberwolves did show the fight and show that they could make it somewhat competitive in these games. But at the end of the day, obviously the experience and just, having the best two players on the court took over. And that's what happens. Excuse me. The Timberwolves have 3 all-stars, man. They have Gobert, they have Cat, and they have Anthony Edwards. And they're still not getting it done. And, that could be very, very, how do you say? I don't want to say discomforting, but very just demoralizing as a team, because you're seeing these 3 guys and you're like, bro, how in the heck, can't we just win one game? Because Mike Conley's having a great series. He even had a great play-in. Prince is doing this thing for them as well. But obviously the Denver Nuggets are the better team. They're the reason why they're the number 1 seed. So we'll see what happens in that series in game 3. But I see Denver just sweeping them after this last game. I just don't think that the Timberwolves are gonna have that motivation to come back to fight. They might for that one last game in Minnesota, because there's 2 games in Minnesota, but they might steal one. But I don't see them stealing one. I see the Nuggets just closing them out. And that's pretty much everything that happened last night, guys. Today we had some bombshell news saying that Kawhi Leonard is gonna be out for game 3, which is massive, bro. I know the game is tied, the series is tied 1-1, but there's no way in hell, you're doing load management in the playoffs, bro. I'm tired of it, bro. I don't care what anybody says about Kawhi, bro. I'm definitely always gonna challenge this guy's competitive nature, bro. I'm done with it, bro. Like, there's no way. You can't tell me you're the ultimate competitor or an all-time great and you're taking games off in the playoffs for a sore knee. Put a damn brace on it, bro. If you know that thing ain't gonna tear or anything like that, bro, you need to do something. There is no way you're missing game 3 at home. You have Paul George over here literally begging, hoping that he could come back already. And you have this guy being like, you know what? I'm going to take the day off. Bro, like, what is going on? Like, man, this is so wild to me. It is so wild to me that somebody that's won championships, is a finals MVP, is saying, nah, I'm good. I'm going to take precaution on my knee. Like, that is crazy to me, man. That is really crazy to me. I mean, that's some, like, KD has done some shit, right? But he hasn't done stuff like this, man. He hasn't showed up to a playoff game and be like, you know what? Right ankle sore, dog. I'm good. You know, I can see AD doing some shit like that, but he still hasn't even done that yet. Thank God. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna knock on wood. But that's just so wild to me, man. Like, how as a teammate can you take this guy serious when he's pulling something like this, man? Imagine your coworker doing that to you every time, man. Every time, like, that you really, really need him to be there, especially at the most pivotal moment. He's like, nah, I'm good. Dude, that don't make nobody feel good, man. I would not be surprised if the Clippers get blown straight out, like literally by like 40 tonight. Just because that's so demoralizing to a team, man. Like, you're showing up to practice. All right, cool. Like, we're back at home. We could take game 3, take a 2-1 lead. And then your coach walks up to the team and says, hey, by the way, Kawhi's not playing tonight. What? You know what I'm saying? Like, see what I mean? Like, even you caught that. It's like, what? Like, how, bro? Like, how can you leave the team right? Like, how can you sit out right now? We need you. Team needs you. Come to the treehouse. That's so crazy to me, man. So crazy to me. Like I said, I definitely, I mean, literally one of my brothers is a Kawhi fan, and even he's tired of it, man. He's tired of it. He straight up said, there ain't no Mamba blood in that dude. Ain't none of it in there. And I'm with him. Man. Straight up, man. There's no way, bro. There's just no way the best player on your team just says, you know what? I know the second best player's out. Our third best player's playing really good. I'm going to sit out. What? Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy, man. I feel sorry for Clipper Nation, though, man. Because literally the most, you don't want to say cursed franchise because you still got the Cleveland Browns out there. But, man, it's like these two franchises are fighting for, like, dominance of who could be the worst franchise to ever exist in sports. Like, it's so crazy to me. Like, yo, Ballmer, you might as well take that money that you were gonna build for that arena and just move it to Seattle, dog. Like, do something, bro. Because, man, that franchise needs to get out of LA, man. Because it's just really blows my. If I was the Clippers, I'm getting rid of Kawhi, bro. This offseason, I don't care how much he's got left in this thing. Paul George has proven to me enough that he could hang. Westbrook has shown that he could hang. But this guy right here he's a real problem. He's a real problem when you can't go to war not having your best warrior, dude. You know how that goes. You know what that does to morale. It kills morality. It really does. It's different if he actually would have got hurt. Like, if you would have got hurt last game and he's over here limping, something, okay, then the team sees it like, oh shit, like he could have hurt himself. But we don't show none of that. And then literally the day of, you're like, nah, I can't go. Wild to me, man. Wild to me. But that's what's going on in the NBA playoffs. I'm over here getting all tongue twisted. This dude's got my blood pressure going all crazy. And I'm not even a Clippers fan, man. And today, let's see who we got here today. Today we got the 76ers and the Nets. Sixers lead that series 2-0. We got the Kings and the Warriors, who are Draymond-less. trying to take a 3-0 lead as well. And then you got the Suns and the Clippers, as we were just talking about, to end tonight's games. But dude, I don't know who the NBA scheduler is, man, but you suck, bro. You all suck. Like, there is no way in heck we should be having 3 games in one night, and you pretty much basically making the fans choose which games we want to watch. Like, it should not be like that, man. It should be 2 games every night. 2 games, 2 games, 2 games, 2 games. That's the way it should be. Not like this, bro. This is a horrible format when you're having me choose whether I want to watch the Kings or the Warriors or the Suns and the Clippers when one series is tied 1-1 and the other one's 2-0. I don't like that. I do not like that. The NBA needs to switch that up next year for real. You could easily, I'm telling you, if you have a game at 4 p.m. and at 7 p.m. every day, trust me, every fan ain't gonna trip. Nobody's gonna trip. But obviously I got the Nets are home this game, but it's not gonna matter to me. I feel like but then again, I don't know. See, this is where things change, because there's keeps on coming out reports of James Harden taking off to Houston after this year from the Sixers. Bro, why is this news coming out right now? Why? The only way this news is coming out is if you're trying to derail the 76ers. Because, I mean, it's just weird. Like, how come, like, out of nowhere, everybody's like, oh, yeah, James Harden's coming back. James Harden's coming back. James Harden. First of all, ain't nobody give a damn. Nobody likes James Harden like that, dog. Quit trying to make it seem like people like James Harden like that. They don't. Let's be real. They don't. Nobody fucks with James Harden like that, bro. If he goes back to Houston, everybody's like, oh, cool, he's back. He's back to the strip clubs. Awesome. Good for you, bro. You're still not a winner. Compared to your peers. You know what I'm saying? Compared to your peers. Obviously not to me. Like, come on, nah. I'm still a winner, though. But yeah, like, though you got that going on. So it's stuff like that could easily derail a team, because you know that this guy has 1 foot out the door already. When you know he has 1 foot out the door already, ain't nobody gonna mess with you, bro. Ain't nobody gonna give 110 for you. That's the only thing that I could see that messing up this game tonight is just that news dropping. But at the end of the day, I don't feel like that'd be enough. And I still got the 76ers winning on the road. And this next game, though, which is at the Warriors and the Kings, I mean, it's a massive game, man. It's a massive game. The one thing you never do is doubt the heart of a champion. So you never want to doubt the Warriors. And they play at home, where they're usually unbeatable. And I just, it'd be really, really hard to see them going down 3-0. I can still, I see them losing this series, but I don't see them going down 3-0. So I would give them the benefit of the doubt in this game, and see them going, going 2-1 in the series. I'm also kind of doing it to jinx them, but that's neither here or there, guys. That's neither here or there. Let's leave that out the way. But, I mean, missing Draymond, that's huge. That's a massive key. He's your defensive enforcer. He's your defensive anchor. He's the one that's been literally bullying, well, not bullying, but, holding Sabonis down. And now he's gone. So now you're putting all that pressure on Looney and Kuminga, which is still good. I mean, Kuminga is just a younger, athletic Draymond. And he could actually hit some shots. He's not as consistent still, but he could at least hit some shots. So I could see the Warriors definitely winning this game at home tonight, and pushing the series to 2-1. And obviously the last game, which the one starts at 7, the other one starts at 7:30. You got the Suns and the Clippers, and I mean, this is obviously a massive game, but not nobody's gonna want to tune into this game because they know that the Kawhi is gone. So everybody's gonna expect. See, this is the also thing too. It's like you're not just hurting, your team. You're legit hurting everything, like the business, man. Because not nobody gives a damn about the series if Kawhi isn't going to play. Honestly, I know for a fact I don't. I'm still going to watch it, but now that you gave me the option to watch between these two teams, I'm obviously going to, these 2 games, I'm obviously going to choose the Kings and the Warriors because they're the healthiest, even though they don't have Draymond. But let's be real, that's fine. Now, they were missing Steph or Clay. That's a whole totally different game. But yeah, I just think that's so crazy how he just decides to take a game off for load management or whatever it is, sore knees. That's just so wild to me. but they just pretty much made it easy for the whole nation to choose which game they want to watch. Obviously, I'm going to pick the Suns in this one. It's a no-brainer. I mean, you got your three best guys. They only have one, and he's not even the best. He's not even a scorer. He's just a playmaker, and he's playing really hard on defense. But you never know. I mean, look what happened to the Grizzlies last night. They were missing 3 of their starters, and they still won. I mean, you know, every team that's in the playoffs right now, they're great from top to bottom. There's no weakness. The only thing you hope for is that they miss and you don't. That's what it comes down in the playoffs. So, yeah, I got the Suns winning this game and actually taking over the lead series 2-1. But that's what we all got going on tonight, guys. Remember that this weekend we still do got that Tank and Ryan Garcia fight. I hope every single you guys purchase that one, because that one's a massive fight, guys. That one's going to be a really good fight. I'm going to watch it with all my boys. It's going to be a great time. But, yeah, definitely it's gonna be awesome to see that fight. It's going to answer a lot of questions. And then also, obviously, whoever wins that fight is probably going to get that undisputed shot next after the rematch of whoever loses, or if Haney keeps the belts. Because obviously if Haney keeps the belts, ain't no rematch. If he loses, there's obviously a rematch. Great fight though, massive stakes at hand. They it's been greatly promoted. But I really don't see Ryan winning this fight. And it's not because I know that his jaw can't take that. It's for the simple fact that he is nowhere near as experienced as Gervonta. I think Mayweather said it best. He's like, bro, you earned all your fans off YouTube. Tank earned all his fans by kicking ass. And that is like literally the bottom line. That's literally what it comes down to. Literally every boxing thing that I've watched, like every boxer saying that, you know, all Ryan's got is that left hook. But the style that Gervonta fights in actually helps him in that. It opens up. He's open to that left hook, is what these fighters have been saying. And that's why they say it's exciting. They're like, yeah, Gervonta might be way more experienced, like a better boxer, but in boxing you just need that one punch. And they're saying that Ryan, his main punch, which is the left hook, is pretty much the main how can I say, it's pretty much the main the word just slipped out of my mind. It's pretty much like, it's not the weakness, but it's mainly, you know, that style for Gervonta. That's pretty much the weakness to that defense, is the left hook. So we'll definitely see what happens. The only way I see Ryan winning this fight is by points, and that's just by keeping Gervonta way at bay, and then just jabbing him to death. Literally just jabbing him to death. It'd be really, really dumb for him to trade with him. That'd be the most dumbest decision Ryan made. But that's the only way I could see Ryan winning the fight, is if just by points. Literally just hitting him and then running away, or hugging like Mayweather would do. He's pretty much the way to beat Gervonta, if you're him, is pretty much do what Mayweather does. The only thing is though, is that, man, it's just, if you get close to Tank, man, he don't need much to spark your ass. He really don't. Excuse me, dude knocks out heavyweights. Shit's crazy. But we'll see what happens, guys. Hope you guys all tune in for that fight, because like I said, it's going to be a massive fight. It's a really, really big fight for boxing, and then we're going to see we're basically going to see who's going to fight for Undisputed after this fight. So I can't wait to watch it. Obviously, Lomachenko and Haney are going to fight for the Undisputed title, so that's always going to be fun. That's next month. We're back to back. But yeah, guys, that's basically all that's been going on in the NBA world and some in the combat world. Definitely keep this thing going. Keep on hoping that you guys are having a great week. We're almost there. Tomorrow's Feel Good Friday. We just got one more day to go, guys, and then we're good. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Again, I can't say that enough. I love every single one of you guys. Please, if you guys can, like, comment, subscribe. Greatly appreciate it all the time. But I love every single one of you guys, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.
There's no time to waste, no time to waste, no time to waste, no. There's no time to waste, no time to waste, no time to waste. So you better do the damn